All right, let's talk about ACC Media Day. So, if you guys don't know, they have this stuff preseason kickoff to get people excited. They bring the coaches and they bring players. So, they do it at the SEC. So, you probably saw clips of Saban talking in like a hotel. Probably saw Kirby Smart, who just got a recent extension, which congratulations to him. I think it was $123 million for the next 10 years. So, he's getting the big bucks and won a national championship. So, obviously, he's going to be one of the paid like a winner in that sense. Jimmo Fisher talks. So you have that Saban Fisher beef, which is going to be continuously interesting to watch, see how that progresses as the season continues to evolve and grow. So there's no beef, as they say, but we're always watching. We're always looking for it, especially me, because I want to talk about it. So I was at ACC Media Day, and so we got to watch Boston College talk. Phil Dracovic, one of the potentially best quarterbacks in the ACC. Syracuse, Dino Babers. We got to watch NC State. So you have Devin Leary, all those guys. We got to Boston College. I just said Boston College. I'm like, oh, but big one was Clemson. So what I'm going to take away from this is kind of just like the environment. It was crazy. It was kind of those big time, like you not like made it necessarily, but there's an ESPN guy over here. There's a radio guy over there. There's a whole radio row. I felt so out of my element for a bit, but it was freaking awesome being able to just kind of be in that place, be in that environment where everybody's doing the same thing. They're all there for content. They're all there for that same special goal. Get content for my site, get content for my radio show, get content for this YouTube platform that I'm trying to build. And you get a little pass, you get a little credential, you get a little hat. You guys can see it's a Capital One Orange Bowl for my YouTube audience. And this is on the back, home of the ACC. It's probably flipped, but you guys know. Let's talk about Clemson, though. The thing that I took away most from them, and I'm going to talk about this more on a Twitter space tomorrow night. So if you're listening tomorrow on Monday when this actually drops, 7 to 8, I'm doing a co-host for Clemson Sports News. We'll be talking about this. But the one thing I took away from it is this team has got a load of confidence. So if you have been paying attention, Clemson went 10-3 last year. Down year, if you want to call it that, you want to be a pundit, you want to be this, you want to be that. Clemson still won 10 games. They managed to overcome so much adversity, so many obstacles, so many challenges, and still they're better for it. It feels like this team has taken all of those kinds of experiences. And sometimes even like programs like Alabama, programs like Georgia, the playoffs every year is not a realistic goal. There are going to be bumps on the road. There are going to be injuries. There's going to be circumstances that prevent you from doing that. It's not like a video game where you can turn it on rookie mode and just plow through teams as you get to the playoff every year. There's just bumps in it. It's just life. It's just how it is. So they've really taken this to heart, and it shows how that Clemson culture has continued to maintain. It's how it's continued to stay, is they have this constant belief that if they can just stick together as a group and be that family and just be there for each other, that they can accomplish a lot of things. KJ Henry was there, Jordan McFadden. Those guys are potential NFL talent. DJ Uyunglele, who has really taken this season to heart. He was at 265 at the Cheez-It Bowl. Cheez-It Bowl Twitter said sorry, not sorry in their tweet, which I just love when these things interact with each other. So you get different kind of vibes or energy, which is great. Thing I really love was Dabo Swinney. Of course, he's going to exude confidence. He's going to portray that. But this season, more than others, I think he's looking to prove something, kind of being like, hey, we're not going anywhere, guys. We still have the best defensive players in the country. We still have some of the most talented guys out there. We had a lot of injuries. We couldn't find that continuity. They've got that now, starting off on the right foot. This team is confident and this team is rolling. I'm excited to see what they do. And they start their first 3 games, Georgia Tech, Furman, Louisiana Tech. They're going to be able to figure out those bumps and those kinks in the offense and the defense and really be able to put together something that they can be proud of and move towards that conference play when they start to play teams like Wake Forest. Revenge game against NC State for all you Clemson fans. If you're an NC State fan watching this, you're like, hey, we got this. We finally got over that hump with Clemson. But don't be, I'm going to say, I was able to kind of grasp what NC State's doing. They are confident too. Everyone at that podium just was like, hey, we know what we are. This ACC is best it's ever been. Let's go to it. Let's roll with it. And it's exciting. it's exciting to see that conference that's always had this stigma it's not as strong as the SEC or not as strong as Big Ten. Say, hey, we can play with the best of the best, and we know it too, which is great to see. Another thing that I love to point out is the ACC commissioner. I was able to rewatch his forum and kind of the questions he was fielding was that stuff about conference realignment. I have no word on it, but I do want to say it's going to be interesting to see how college football continues to develop and change. It's an ever-changing process, especially when you have schools like USC and UCLA moving across the country in a sense to play those opponents in Wisconsin, Ohio State. So obviously there were questions, but who knows at this point? It's going to be an interesting process, an interesting puzzle piece, but nonetheless exciting. And I always, obviously, if there's some big move, I'll cover it and I'll talk about it with you guys. So just wanted to wrap that experience up and kind of thank you guys as well for allowing me to put myself out there to get to that point and be there to see all that stuff instead of just watching it on ESPN. Really thankful for that as well. All right, guys, I'm going to take a short break. Going to take a sip of water. I'm not used to talking for this long. It's been a long time. We're going to talk about Kyler Murray. We'll switch to the NFL and talk about his contract. And I'm going to kind of give the pros and the cons to it, my initial opinion, and then kind of once you start to think about it, you're like, yeah. So Kyler Murray in a bit. Thank you guys.